At 2:11 a.m., the basement phone started ringing. Our RA told us never to answer it. I picked up on the third ring. The ring didn't sound like the lobby phones upstairs. It sounded older, like a bell cupped in someone's hands. Huxley Hall's basement has cement floors painted the color of chewing gum, a cinder-block laundry room, and a beige wall phone by the bulletin board with the broken pushpins. During move-in, Maya, our RA, held up the laminated night procedures sheet and tapped the line halfway down. Do not answer the basement phone after midnight. If you hear it, lock the laundry door and come upstairs, she said. Someone laughed then. It sounded like superstition, one of those campus myths older students keep alive to haze the new ones. The sheet had other rules that felt practical until 3 in the morning turns practical into prayer. Keep the laundry door closed. Do not prop. Don't look through the boiler room window. If you hear your name, leave and text the duty phone. If the washing machine beeps 3 times without finishing, wait upstairs for 10 minutes. The phone rule was bolded and underlined in red Sharpie like someone had tried to make a typed warning louder. We joked about it, and then classes started and rules became wallpaper. That Tuesday, I remembered my damp hoodie rotating in dryer for 20 minutes after quiet hours. The hallway outside my room had that soft carpet hush. Downstairs, the motion sensor lights hummed awake in strips as I descended. I used my student ID on the basement reader and felt the familiar two-tone beep, the yes of a door that would not keep anyone out who really wanted in. The dryer window was fogged. Inside, my hoodie thumped the glass in its lazy loop. Past the yellow line on the floor, a wired glass door showed the boiler room. Lights always on, nobody ever inside. The beige phone hung near the bulletin board with flyers for tutoring and an a cappella group. Its little placard read house phone. Dial 0 for operator. Emergencies call 911. Someone had stuck blue tape over the 0. The posted night procedure sheet was the same one for move-in, but there were new pen marks in the margins like the paper learned while we weren't looking. Next to the phone line, someone had added, if it rings at 2:11, do not answer. It rang at 2:11. I know because the wall clock over the vending machine hiccuped to that time and then stopped. My phone lock screen said 2:08 and stayed there like a screen grab. The ring shivered the aluminum vents. 2 short, 1 long pause like breath practiced at an instrument. I put my palm on the yellow line, because rules feel like rails when your stomach drops. I picked up. No dial tone, just line, dry air, a little hiss like a seashell. Then a click, and my name in a voice I knew too well to trust. Don't say hello, it said, quiet but inside the room. It was Maya's cadence without Maya's throat. It was also a little like my own. Just listen, and do not look at the boiler room glass. I still had my hand on the line. Leave your foot on the yellow paint, the voice said, and say the number 3. 3, I said, which felt like giving someone change. The dryer behind me hiccuped and stopped mid-spin. A rubber slap from inside, then stillness full enough to magnify the hum of the exit sign. Good, the voice said. Do not turn around yet. If you hear anyone use your name from behind you, do not answer them. It won't be me. A soft shoe scuffed on cheap tile outside the laundry door, the kind of sound a person makes when they're trying not to. The card reader chirped its two-tone yes, then no, like someone presented an ID and took it away. Why are you helping me? I asked low. The voice ignored that. You need to open dryer 4 and take out what's on the lint screen. Don't look at the glass. I reached back without turning and found the hot metal handle and tugged. Heat breathed on my wrist. The hoodie slumped forward. On the fine gray fuzz of the lint trap sat a folded index card. My name was on the outside in my handwriting. I didn't keep index cards in my laundry. Open it and read it, the voice said. Inside, in the same tilt of pen I use when I'm hurrying, were 5 lines. Keep your left foot on the yellow paint. Do not turn to the boiler glass. If you hear the reader chirp twice, lock the door. When the phone clicks, do not say hello. When it says your name, hang up. You wrote that, I said. You will, the voice said, almost kind. The reader beeped twice, obedient and small. I slid the metal bar across the laundry door. It clunked too loud in the quiet, and then the quiet reset around it. Okay, I said, "What now?" A gentle knocking came from the stairwell as if knuckles pressed through wool. "Don't answer," the voice said. "He doesn't have his ID anymore." I didn't like the way that sentence knew a he. "Who is this?" I asked, though somewhere behind my ribs I'd already recognized the exact wrongness of the vowels. The voice inhaled like me. "Don't say hello," it repeated perfectly, the way I hear myself on video and want to erase it. The line clicked softly in my ear like a camera shutter. Outside the door, keys jangled. A familiar RA key ring sound Maya makes when she hurries. "It's me," Maya called, voice muffled by the cinder block. "Open up." The receiver was warm on my cheek now, like breath. "If she's alone," the not Maya me said gently. "Don't." The laundry door shook once as if a shoulder leaned into it and reconsidered. The phone warmed my cheek like a palm. "If she's alone, don't," the not Maya me repeated, as if the words had a groove they preferred. The handle on the laundry door twitched a millimeter under a weight that didn't quite commit. Keys chimed once, cautious. The card reader chirped yes. Then no again, the second tone bitten off like someone had pulled the ID away mid-scan. "Maya," I called before I could stop myself. On the line, my almost voice exhaled. "Don't use names." Outside, "It's me," she said. "I told you, basement phone rings? You come upstairs. Open. Please." The please had the right amount of RA to it, trained friendliness over a small core of "don't make me write you up." The sound carried through cinder block the way heat does, soft around the edges and too close. "What color is tonight's duty binder?" I asked because I'd shelved it earlier when I went down to get quarters. "Red, with last semester's blue tab still stuck inside." A pause, too long for the simplicity of the question. "Orange," she said. "You know that." "It was red at 11, I said. That came out with more satisfaction than I meant. The handle stilled. "Foot on the line," my not Maya said, bright again like praise. "Good. When the washer beeps 3 times, do not go. The upstairs time is for the other kind." "Other kind of what?" I asked and hated the shiver in that question. The vending machine casing clicked as if it was shrinking in cold. From the boiler room, a fan shifted pitch. Behind the wired glass, the light had that too clean hum that makes your ears ring after. I kept my eyes on the fleck of paint missing from the yellow stripe at my toes. The washing machine to my right peeped once, twice, then choked and went quiet like it had apologized. The wall clock over the vending machine held 2:11 with its red second hand in the same half-jerk. My phone, face down on the folding table, glowed 2:08, then dimmed, then glowed again, stubborn. "Maya," I tried again, but not toward the door, toward the person in my ear in case names felt safer if you aimed them wrong. The voice ignored that. "Hold the receiver away. Just a little," it said. "When you hear your name again, you hang up. Don't say hello. Don't ask who. Hang up. Then call back." The laundry door rattled gently. A test. "You're not safe down there," Hallway Maya said. The words landed damp, a fact stated just once instead of twice, like she'd stopped trying to sound like the flyer. "Why do I have to call back?" I asked the line. "Because you didn't when you were supposed to," the not Maya said. Soft, kind if you don't know the cost. "Because you delayed it here and now this floor has to use what it has." The card reader gave 2 quick beeps. My shoulders climbed without permission. I slid the bar lock up again even though it was already set, because doing something beats being smart sometimes. Metal made that empty pan click that pretends it's brave. A faint shoelace squeak moved under the boiler room door, exactly the noise a sneaker makes on cheap paint. I turned my whole face away from the glass even though I hadn't looked. The urge to check its blankness felt like a mouth itch. "You're hearing your voice because it's the only one you trust in this room," the not Maya said. "That's useful. We'll borrow it." "Maya?" the hall said, soft again, as if reminding me I'd named her and needed to live with that. The RA cadence was there. The little laugh she uses on first years was there. I tried to keep the person outside and the person in my ear in separate cages and failed. They leaked through the bars. The dryer drum ticked as heat faded. Lint smell thickened, sweet and dead. I slid the index card back onto the screen because it felt like putting something back the universe might be looking for, and the universe is petty. Okay, I said. I'll hang up when. The line clicked. When it says my name, I finished to myself, heart too loud. Silence from the receiver is a shape. Pressed into my cheek and waited. I kept it near my ear and not at it, the way you keep a fire near your hands without scorching them. I stared at the bolt head in the laundry door jamb and counted the scrapes where keys have missed. From the hallway, a low man's voice said, "RA on duty," like he was reading it off a lanyard. I had not heard anyone else come down the stairs. The card reader gave a short error chirp. The sound of rules pretending they can help. Open. The not Miami said in my memory, from a second that hadn't happened yet, and my mouth moved around it without sound. I thought of the list on the fridge in Maya's room, the stupid acronyms, the words that turn a job into a ritual. I thought of how much those words help until they don't. My name came through the receiver, not from the hall, not from the building, the line. It was my name as my mother says it when she's about to tell me not to do something dangerous. It hooked the part of me that answers before I'm done thinking. I hung up. The dial tone did not die because there had never been any. The plastic of the receiver went cold in my hand the way a seat goes cold when someone stands up. The hallway went a degree quieter, like someone had just listened harder. I jabbed the hook switch twice like a person in a movie. The line popped, then took a breath that was me and wasn't. I brought it back up. "Don't say hello," I said, and startled at how exact I could be. "Keep your foot on the yellow paint. Say the number 3. Silence. Then a drawn-in breath like a held sob. 3. A voice said, paper thin, terrified of its own echoing. It was me. Not today me. A few minutes ago me. The way my voice sounds when my mouth is dry and I think I am doing something small that will keep me from doing something big. I repeated the script the way you repeat after prayer if someone else knows it better than you. "Do not look at the boiler glass," I said. "When the reader chirps twice, lock the door. When the phone clicks, do not say hello. When it says your name, hang up." "Why are you helping me?" the earlier me asked, too fast. I ignored it because I had to. Outside, a key slid in the top lock, tested, withdrew. The card reader chirped twice, obedient, far away. "He doesn't have his ID anymore," I heard myself say, exactly like the not Maya had said to me. The words fell through me like nails straightening in a board. The line clicked again, faint with my breath. I felt a clock I couldn't see lurch and catch. "Okay," the earlier me whispered. I heard the dryer door hinge. I could almost feel heat on my own wrist as if the past sat in the same air. I pictured my hand on my lint screen. The index card. The feel of my own handwriting under my own desire not to admit it. Something leaned on the laundry door. The bar didn't jump, but the whole assembly flexed. A soft drag crossed the cinder block like a shoulder. "Open up," the hallway Maya said. Soft, closer, out of patience. There was a second between the syllables that suggested someone else standing behind her. Someone taller. Someone who nodded rather than spoke. "I'm here," the back then me said. "What now?" "Now you wait. When you hear your name from the line, hang up. Then call back and tell me to do exactly what I just told you. Don't add. Don't subtract." "Is this going to stop?" they asked, and the petulance in it made me forgive everything I'd ever hated about my own voice. "Don't use names," I said, wrong, then corrected. "Don't ask that." I softened it by adding, "Keep your foot on the line." In the boiler room, something tapped the wired glass twice. Knuckle, knuckle, pause, and an almost third that never arrived. My eyes flooded without blinking and cleared. I looked at the yellow paint until it blurred and came back. A thread of steam rose out of the vent cover low, slow, and then went sideways against air that wasn't moving. "Okay." The me on the other side breathed. There was noise in their line, a fabric scuff like getting up too fast. "I hear it," they said. "It's saying." The phone went dead again. I stared at it and wanted it to be heavy enough to break the floor. The vending machine compressor kicked on, startling and ordinary, and that hurt worse. From the hall, the man who had said RA on duty tried the handle again without speaking. Maya's voice used my first name and I did not answer. Keys chimed, disappointed. I called back. Don't say hello, I started, and heard my words arrive at someone who had only now picked up the third ring. My voice sounded older in their ear than it did in mine. If I had looked then at the boiler glass, maybe I would have seen time thin enough to put your thumb through. I kept my eyes on the doorframe screws. I can't hold this door much longer, Hallway Maya whispered like a confession to a priest. Footsteps moved away from her across the tile like someone uncertain about whether a thing was worth it. On the line, the earlier me said, "Okay, I found the card. It's in my handwriting." "It will be," I said, and I made myself gentle because I needed someone to have been. "When it says your name, hang up," I repeated, and we held the line together until I heard that small sharp inhale again, and the open air after it. I lowered the receiver instead of returning it to its cradle, because the click felt like too finished a sound for a basement where nothing finished right. I slid the bar lock down and left it. The yellow paint under my boot, already warmer like my blood, had decided it was part of me. Now what? I asked the empty. The dryer ticked, stopped. The wall clock over the vending machine shuddered and decided it could be 2:12 after all. At the hall door, Maya's keys made an RA rhythm again, familiar and tired. "Duty call to the boiler," the man said softly now, like a person reading a bedtime story no one wants. The phone began ringing again behind my ear. It sounded the same as before. Cupped bell, 2 short, 1 long. But each ring had a breath inside it now that matched mine. The night procedures sheet on the corkboard had a new underline in blue where none had been. "If you hear your name, leave and text the duty phone," and below it, in my own pen, a slanted addition I did not remember writing and could not look away from. "If you make the call, don't stay to hear yourself thank you." I picked up anyway, because I'm not special, I'm just someone who wants to see what happens. The line took a beat to find itself. "Don't say hello," a voice said, and I swallowed hard because it was not mine and not Maya's and not the man's. It was the tone buildings use when they adjust and want you to hear it as room tone. "Keep your foot on the yellow paint," it said, careful learning. "Say 3. Behind the glass, something taller than me leaned as if to check whether I would.